Misconception versus reality for the home buyers.
But first, let's hit it. Hi, it's Ellen Victoria. Welcome to our channel and podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and notify.
Honestly, we get call and text all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Don't be shy. Also, don't forget to get our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below.
Exactly. And today, really, we wanted to talk about the misconception and what reality that we see as a real estate agent and you as a home shopper know that you wanted to be a homeowner.
And I want to say that these statistics fit in line with what I see all the time. So we wanted to give you that you are not alone with these misconceptions. There is no judgment. We're not doing that. But when we found these national statistics, I said, wow, and this makes a lot of sense. We want to kind of look at the myth, look at the statistics who believe the myth, and then talk about the reality.
Therefore, if you're looking at the market and you say that the prices is high, many people believe that the house is going to crash and the interest rate is rising because government also trying to fight the inflation.
But why is the government increasing the interest rates? Because they're fighting inflation. What is inflation? What is the definition of inflation? Prices are increasing. So what is happening to home prices? They are increasing because inflation is happening and it's a real thing. And I've never seen in history, if you look at charts, where inflation has like decrumbled and all prices have fallen. That's just not a reality. That's not economics. That's actually just the death of a society. So I wouldn't wish that. Just so you know, I did teach economics. I love it. Economies are supposed to grow at pi. And just little fun facts like that. So we want markets to continue rising so we all have jobs and everything else. But anyway, the definition of inflation is prices are increasing. So it means home prices are increasing.
Exactly. And people, they say, we are not looking at the home. But when you're looking at the statistic and different
website,
they actually publish 53% of the people actually weekly searching for home and 29% of them checking daily for the homes that comes to the market.
So people say that they are not looking, but the reality is they feel that they're lagging behind because here's another fact, right? Another fact is most people think that they've missed their opportunity or they're too old to buy their first home. But the reality is 73% of people think that buying a home is something you do in your 20s. But the reality is the average age of the first-time home buyer is 36 years old, according to statistics. So you are not too old. And if you are beyond 36, I've seen people in their 50s actually 87 was our highest for the first-time home buyer.
Exactly.
So people buy homes all the time. You buy your home when you're ready, but don't feel like you missed out on something or like you're judging yourself. Don't judge yourself.
And now the misconception in a home buying journey, which basically 83% of people that they're searching for a home and wanted to be a homeowner, they encounter unexpected steps in the process of the purchasing a home.
Right,
no?
Which means that 63% of all home buyers in the past year or 2 years or 3 years have to recalibrate their priorities and their budgets based on the realities of what they see. So and 65% have to readjust their entire budget. So 63% have to recalibrate their priorities. Like, okay, maybe I'm okay with a townhome. It's not going to get the acre. And then 65% have to really look at their budget again, knowing the real numbers that you qualify for.
Exactly. And another thing about dispelling the myth is that many home buyers, they are trying to think about it is the closing costs, repairs, and inspection. For many home buyers, they think, when I wanted to put the offer for the house, the homeowner need to give me my closing costs of the loan. No?
Right. And apparently 46% of all homeowners believe you have to, and 44% of non-homeowners believe they have to. However, that's not true. In this market specifically, in our market in Greenville, it's very rare that we would see sellers pay cold. It does happen. It happens more than, I'm not saying it's never happens. It definitely happens. I've helped my clients get them. However, if it's the brand new home on the market, are you going to get it? I don't know.
And then many home buyers, they believe the seller should accommodate all the repairs and things that came on their report of the inspection, which is another thing that is not real. Because
most sellers don't have to fix anything.
Exactly.
It's a choice that people are making in negotiation period.
Exactly.
So I mean, there's that as well. So let's just talk about the reality of the emotional aspect, because apparently 45% of people are not buying a home because they fear they're going to buy the wrong home. So they feel like, oh, what if I pick wrong and I'll regret it later? And yet only 20% of America actually has felt that buyer's remorse after buying a home. So 45% fear it, and yet only one-fifth of America has actually ever felt buyer's remorse. So most people do not feel buyer's remorse. So that's another myth that we should talk about.
Exactly. The next thing is actually analysis of the housing.
No, you forgot stress.
Okay, can you say that?
Okay, so 78% of non-homeowners feel that buying a home is so stressful and they can't handle it, and then they freak out. Whereas 47% of homeowners who actually gone through the process will say that there was stress involved. So that means that more people fear the stress than the actual stress exists.
Exactly.
As long as you work with the right people, you should, and listen to your experts, and you're not trying to, tell us what to do, you will more likely succeed, because we see what's happening in the market every day. So when you're looking for a partner, we can say this is reality. We're not trying to steal your money. We're trying to help you buy a home, and people who listen generally have less stress.
Another item that we wanted to say is basically misconception and knowledge, not having a knowledge about the housing and analytics of the housing. And what is that exactly?
60% of America believes that the median home price is less than what it actually is. The median home price in America is between $400,000 and $500,000, right?
Yes.
Here in Pitt County, North Carolina, I'm going to say it's between $200,000 to $300,000, so it's much less. But 60%, even in our market, when we have that lower number, 60% of people will still believe that number is even lower, that they can somehow have an acre of land with 3-bedroom, 2-bath for like $100,000, and that's just not reality. So 60% of people in America are misunderstanding the home prices in their area.
Exactly. Therefore, these all comes from that you need also as a home buyer to a little bit do some research about the local housing market that you are in.
Another fear that people have is that the expenses of a home are going to be 48% of America thinks that the home expenses are actually less than what they are. So, you should always have a budget in mind for fixing things unless you're buying new. And then you're looking to upgrade things until it's time to fix, and then you should start budgeting for fixing.
Exactly.
What about that down payment, though? Because that's a crazy statistic.
Yeah, most of the people, they think they definitely need 20% down payment.
62% believe.
Exactly. That they need 20% down payment, and we all know that for different qualified mortgage, like conventional, you need 3%, USDA you don't need, and for the FHA 3.5%. Now,
for real estate agents, we have a lot of misconceptions out there. People have this wrong belief that if you can just skip the agent, 65% of America believes that if you skip the real estate agent, you will save money. The reality is quite the opposite. The reality is a good real estate agent will save you money. And also, 51% of people in America think that they underestimate what those commission fees are. They think it should only be something. And then if you go to we did it ourselves when we first sold our home before we became real estate agents. We went to the low barrel, 1%. And that was the worst service ever, because you're not getting the service and you're not going to sell your house on time because of this problem. So making sure you have a good agent who's going to be there is worth your value. It will sell your home faster and save you money. And if you're a home buyer, a real estate agent is going to help save you money because we understand the process. So thinking, I'll just go to the seller's agent is actually a really bad idea. And yet 65% of America think if they can just skip agents altogether, they'll somehow save a buck.
Exactly. Therefore, the next thing is actually demystifying the median home sale price, which definitely one of the reason is why 30% of the homeowners spend more than they plan, and as a result, they have some financial issues.
But at the same token, this goes back to what we said about the misconceptions of what's happening in your market.
Exactly.
The market is the market, right? And I cannot stress that enough. Home prices are going to sell at the market value in which they live in which they exist. Nobody's just putting out numbers at random. And if it's too high, no one's going to buy it. And if it's too low, yeah, people are going to buy it, but there's also going to be some questions on why it's so low. But anyway, so a lot of people will say, I'm going to spend this amount of money and keep to this budget. But then when they get to the reality of what the home prices actually are, they realize they have to spend more money. 34% of America realize they have to spend more money.
And the next one is really miscalculation of the finances. that this is one of the reasons that you need to basically looking at it very carefully, no?
Right. You should always know what your budgets are. And before we make an offer on any home, you should know what that monthly payment is going to be. All of the lenders that I like to work with will definitely have given you a rundown of cost of how much things are beforehand. But either way, 24% of ex-homeowners cite unaffordable mortgages as the reason why they are no longer homeowners. Again, that would be way less, 24%. So 75% are fine with their fixed rate. They're happy with their fixed rate. And 16% did face foreclosures during the 2008, which is a hefty number, but that is not happening now. That's not happening. So which means that people stuck to fixed rate. They stuck to fixed calculations. They stuck to fixed how much they're going to have to pay every month. And it's paying off for them. And now you should do the same.
Therefore, in conclusion, really, we wanted to stress enough that it's so important to have knowledge and study the market that you are, because that helps you to overcome the stress that we said as a statistic many home buyers they're facing. And this way, you go with the open eyes and also the knowledge that you got from the local market. That's why we are recording this YouTube and podcast.
And don't forget, in our buyer's guide or seller's guide in the description below, you will get a lot of information we put together. You also get all of our contact information to really talk to us, but you're really educating yourself by reading these guides. So it's not just a random thing to click on. It's something that's really it's like 10 or 12 pages. They're long because I spent a lot of time writing a lot of things because I wanted to give you as much information as possible so you will make smart choices.
Exactly. And don't forget, if you're in the local market here in Greenville, Pitt County, and definitely call us at 252-327-3357 and support our channel and podcast by subscribing. And thank you for being a good audience, and see you in the next time.